Alright, so the police here in Tillamook have allowed people to terrorize me literally since I got here. Gone out of their way to exploit my to exploit my disabilities. And not one person here cares. I know that literally not one person here gives a shit if Andrew Wolnez hurts me or even kills me. He has shown that no matter what, he believes it is okay to harm innocent people through slander, intimidation, and assaults, making false statements, knowingly and unwillingly, over and over. The fact is, me calling him a predator is not the wrong thing to call him. He is. He's pissed off because he's been told on. He's been recorded doing these things. The other thing is, not one person here at Safeway, no matter how much they pretend to give a shit, not one of them has lifted a goddamn finger to help put a stop to this abuse, like they would if it was somebody they actually cared about. This is the way it is no matter where I go. Y'all pretend like because I have a vehicle that I've got a magic fix-all. No, gas isn't fucking free. And $800 a month is not enough to live on. All it would have taken is one fucking person in each and every one of these situations to sit down and look at the fucking evidence and fucking speak up. Between helping me put a stop to this abuse or letting him keep this up, I cannot just wait over my shoulder, being completely incapable of functioning, because I have to always look over my shoulder for pieces of shit like that. Everybody wants to pretend there's an emergency when it comes time to actually help their friend. Well, that emergency stretches to 8 fucking months of your friend taking fucking non-stop goddamn abuse. You're not a fucking friend. You're a world-class piece of shit, and you're very likely calling yourself a Christian, waving your I'm proud to be an American bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. There are no good people here. It's a bunch of fucking junkies on the street that take advantage of us, and a bunch of fucking people in houses who ignore it, while we're sent to services that take advantage of us and ignore the abuse. Do you think it's free to run around in circles to all the places you want to tell me to go? Do you really think that's fucking free? Now, how do we protect ourselves from these people? Like literally, I've got so many people offering me guns, and I'm telling them all no. Every time Wolnez does that shit, you know what goes through my head? Maybe I should have told these people yes. Every single time one of my friends and family members' lives are fucking threatened, I think to myself, why the hell did I try going the legal route? Why the hell did I make any efforts whatsoever at getting a hold of law enforcement or my friends for help? Why did I go to these advocacy places like Regional Nebraska for fucking help? I've got to be able to protect myself from fucking law enforcement, for Christ's sake. You get to see time and again that literally officers by name that I've told on my YouTube channel and even recorded many of them committing these crimes. And you get to see later on how many of those officers are arrested and put in prison because they did those things to other people too. All cops are bad. All of them. When you are forced to literally make thousands of telephone calls to turn in ongoing abuse by multiple assailants in multiple states, multiple locations in every state. Yeah, I'm still just as disabled as I was before. But this is inhumane treatment. Now, who am I supposed to call, huh? I don't have the physical ability. I couldn't beat somebody to death if I fucking wanted to. I couldn't run away from an assailant if I fucking wanted to. And when you destroy a man's name like you do to mine, there's a 0% chance of getting help anywhere that I waste my money to drive to. Anywhere I go, I'll be told I have to be starting over from scratch and jump through at least 2 years worth of hoops to maybe get into housing before I will ever be allowed to turn in a crime committed against me. And how many of these women have said nice words? And how many of these nice guys have said nice words? How many of them have had nice ideas other than turning these pieces of shit in? When you make me go in alone, you 100% guarantee that I will not be taken seriously. The difference between them legally having to and this all comes down to whether or not I have a friend or family member who cares. Do I have a friend or family member who cares? No, I fucking don't. How do I stop abuse by these fucking police? Yeah, they're wanting to intentionally neglect abuse against an at-risk adult. Every single time they have gone out of their way to not collect a goddamn piece of evidence. I have to be very loud and very public when I am victimized so that I can at least show that I'm trying. If I talk to any of these quote unquote professionals, I have to record it, or I have to come up with money, which wastes time, and I have to fill out a bunch of paperwork that wastes more time. I got to travel to do that, and then I have to hope that they'll give me what I'm asking for. I gotta hope they're not gonna play fucking head games with their fucking body camera evidence. I am harmed daily in Tillamook, Oregon by law enforcement. Oh, Attis Trading Company. That's fucking stupid. I am an at-risk adult. God damn it. What the... Maybe if I unplug it, it'll stop fucking doing that. But it won't take a fucking charge hardly now. Let's ask a question. Are 988 personnel mandated reporters? They want to propose cleanup language as part of 2023 and 24 governor's budget. Well, that sounds like some pretty retarded shit to play it on, isn't it? To train crisis counselors who can help people experiencing suicidal, substance use, and or mental health crisis, or any other kind of emotional distress. Now we've got phone call after phone call made into 988, don't we? Last one was October 15th.
Reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Para español, marque el número 2. To talk to the Veterans Crisis, se ha puesto en contacto con la línea directa de emergencia y suicidio 988. Si te sientes muy angustiado o estás pensando en suicidarte.
Fucking Christ, that was screwed up. Let's try that again.
Para español, marque el número 2. To talk to the Veterans Crisis Line, press 1. To connect to support for LGBTQI+ youth and young adults, press 3. Otherwise, to talk with a counselor, stay on the line or press 0. To improve 988, your call may be monitored and recorded. If you stay on the line at the end of the call, you may be invited to participate in a short survey. We are checking for a counselor who is available to talk. You'll hear music while we do this, and we'll give you an update in 30 seconds.
I'm trying to get somebody to
you are not
help
alone.
me turn in
We
all
care
this stuff that
and
keeps
want to
happening.
support you.
All the abuse
Someone will
that I
be
got to
with you
endure
soon.
out here. The hands of the police and the homeless.
Oh, what?
All the abuse.
Oh. Who get abused? Me?
That's not funny.
I know it's not.
I'm not
Me too.
abusing anybody. People keep abusing me and nobody
That's what I'm saying.
cares.
I'm getting abused everywhere. You wouldn't happen to have $3 on your wallet, I gotta pay for my propane. I got Dora over there watching my phone.
I don't know where any of my stuff is right now. Everything's buried somewhere.
We are continuing to check with counselors for someone who is available to talk. You'll continue to hear music, and we'll give you another update in 30 seconds. If you are in the process of a suicide attempt, please call 911.
Fuck
Otherwise,
911.
please stay on the
I'm
line.
not in the process
We
of
want
a
to help
suicide
and we'll have
attempt.
someone available as soon as possible.
Fucking Christ. If I call 911, they'll fucking arrest me. Fucking dumbasses. Jesus Christ, these people are fucking stupid. And all of them say that. Does 911 give a fuck about anybody who's homeless?
No.
To the
They don't
cops.
fuck about anybody anyways. Their job, like you said. These cops don't give a fuck.
We know your call is urgent.
They're getting people
and
killed
thank you
out
for your
here.
patience. If you prefer, you can text 988 to reach a counselor, or please stay on the line to be connected.
Oh, there's a lot of people committing suicide around here too.
Huh?
A lot of people committing suicide around here too. Bunch of fentanyl overdoses.
We are checking for a counselor who's available to talk. You'll hear music while we do this, and we'll give you an update in 30
You want to
seconds.
talk to suicide hotline with me and tell them they're a bunch of fuckheads?
Hi, 988 Suicide
Hello?
Crisis Lifeline. My name's Cindy. Hi, I'm Cindy. I'm a counselor. How can I help you?
Hi, Cindy. My name's Sean. There's another feller here who's talking to me too, so I didn't expect to have him talking to me when you answered. What was that again?
Oh, that's okay.
All right.
That's okay. What's going on, Sean?
I'm a disabled adult and I'm taking a lot of abuse. I don't do drugs, but I'm homeless, so it's just assumed that I do drugs at any hospital or by the police. I get taken advantage of every single day. I get assaulted nearly every day. There's a man named Andrew Wolnez who has repeatedly assaulted me. He beat in the whole side of my car yesterday.
Sean? Okay, Sean, I'm just going to tell you, like, what you tell me in here is confidential, your thoughts and your information. But one thing I need you to know is I'm a mandated reporter. So if I hear about abuse of a vulnerable adult, I am mandated to report that. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. And that's the whole reason for calling. But I'm also going to have you know that you're the first person who's taken it seriously, just like that, out of literally every time that I have called before this.
Yeah. Okay, Sean, I'm so sorry that's been your experience. So, Sean, I'm just going to tell you how the call goes, okay? I'm just going to ask you for some very basic information, like your name, your first and last name, your contact number, just in case we get disconnected, because that does happen sometimes. And then I want to hear more about what's going on, and I'm going to ask you some really direct questions just to make sure you're safe, okay?
Ma'am, I'm not safe. I already know what your direct questions are, and there's also a safety issue with the police here.
Okay, Sean. I'm definitely gonna see what I can do and what I can do to support you. Sean,
My name is Sean Schwartz, SHAWN, SCHWARTZ. I don't know my phone number, so reading it back to me won't do any good. Whatever the number is I called you from is it. I'm autistic. I'm high-functioning autistic, but when I'm overwhelmed, it's difficult to remember names and numbers, and I am constantly having to get new phones, to get new numbers. I'm not good with electronics, so whatever I get, I'm stuck with, and it's a very difficult thing to deal with.
Okay. Alrighty. That's okay. You don't have to tell me your number right now. If I need to find it, I'll be able to. Okay. All right, Sean. You got a lot going on tonight. I'm so sorry for what you're going through. You sound distressed, and I want you to know I'm here to support you, okay? Sean, are you okay sharing either your birth date or your age with me tonight?
I was born October 18th, 1980.
Okay. All right, Sean. Thank you. And where are you currently at? So you said you're homeless, so no address at the moment.
No, ma'am.
What city and state are you? What city and state are you in?
I'm currently in Tillamook, Oregon.
Okay. Do you know the zip code of that city, Sean?
I don't.
Okay, that's okay. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. You're doing great, Sean. You're doing great. I know it's not easy to answer all those questions when you're feeling distressed, so...
Actually, I've been through this whole process over 2,000 times, so no, it's not easy having to go through all of this useless stuff just to get the information to you, but please proceed. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm overwhelmed.
Okay. Alrighty, I'm going to do the best I can. Okay, I've asked you all the questions, like all those basic ones now, okay? Okay, Sean. So tell me, what's going on? Has someone hurt you today? Are you in immediate danger right now?
Ma'am, I am always in immediate danger because these occurrences and attacks are frequent and ongoing. I'm an at-risk adult. I can
Okay.
barely walk.
Okay, are you in a wheelchair or something? Like,
No, ma'am.
do you have
I
support? No?
probably
Okay.
should be in a wheelchair, but I use a cane.
You use a cane. Okay. Alrighty. And so what's been happening? Who's abused you? What's happening right now? It's got you calling in.
Well, ma'am, I can't call 911 because I was arrested for calling 911 because they wouldn't take it seriously about abuse by the police as well as the drug addicts in this town. I've literally recorded these abuses on my YouTube channel. I mean, there's no way that people can deny that they happened. The problem is that I'm stuck homeless and I'm having to try to go to local resources. All of these people are friends with each other. It's a small town.
Yep.
Well, it's not a small town. It's a small city, but it's
no, I get what you mean. People know each other.
it's also a really racist place.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, isn't there? Sorry that you're having that. So, are you in need of medical attention right now, Sean?
I cannot go to any medical facility here.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, ma'am, because I'm a homeless, disabled man who's already gone to them. They automatically treat us like we're junkies, and they're dismissive and abusive. The same thing with law enforcement.
Okay. Okay. And where did the latest abuse happen, Sean? Where at? Like, as in, where at? In your town? On the street? Tell me where the best you can.
Well, the last time that he assaulted my property was twice yesterday. Once at the Center Market on the main street here, and also once over at the library parking lot.
And was this a drug dealer who did it?
Yes, ma'am. His name is Andrew Wolnez. But also, that's the 8th and 9th time that he's assaulted me or my property, or both.
Okay. So, Andrew, can you tell me his last name again? Andrew what?
Wolnez, Wolnez. The law enforcement here has been running around telling the homeless people that I am wanted for murder in Colorado and that I'm somebody who touches kids. The reason they're doing this is because they know I'm trying to turn them in. When I have to try to turn them into any agency here, they just blow me off, or they say, oh, well, I'll talk to my friend in all of these places with mandated reporters. The first 3 to 5 times that I went into each of them, they said, oh, well, I'll talk to my friend in law enforcement and see what he says, and then they never get back to me.
Oh, no, okay. Well, here, what happens, Sean, is I have to consult with my supervisor and tell him or her what's happening, and then they decide if we need to report this, okay, with what's going on. And so I need you to give me as much information as you feel comfortable giving me, okay?
That's what I'm trying to do. The other thing with Andrew Wolnez today, he also walked by and was screaming stuff at me. Now, I have had to post up on YouTube the situations with him and write the word predator before his name and post his picture up about these things because trying to go to law enforcement has been so impossible without a friend or family member.
Yep. Okay. All righty. What did Andrew do to you? Did he physically assault you?
He has repeatedly, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He assaulted me on September 21st at the Safeway soda can machine. He also assaulted me again 14 minutes after that, I believe, right across the street at the Township Hall or Townsend Hall. It's the senior center. He assaulted me right outside of there. He assaulted me later that day over at my car. He's threatened to kill me. He's assaulted me. He's running around telling people that I'm a pedophile, that I'm a rapist, that I'm a murderer, that I'm wanted for murder and reference in Colorado. This is about a woman named Natalie Bollinger who got shot in the head in 2017 after her and her druggy friend stalked me for over a year.
Okay.
Like, this happened so long ago, but police officers wanted me to be guilty. And they pulled every dirty trick that they could to try to frame me for Natalie's murder.
Yeah.
And fortunately for me, they found the guy who actually did it.
Okay,
But the police officers had to somehow magically justify the crimes that they committed or outright pretend they didn't happen. So they've been trying to pretend that I'm schizophrenic ever since.
Oh,
That makes it impossible to get
Sean.
heard. Do what?
I bet it does, Sean. I bet. Sean,
I also
I'm
have
just
the
worried
evidence.
I
I also
the name.
have evidence.
Can you spell,
I also
Sean,
have
can
evidence.
you spell the name of your... Uh-oh, I don't want to lose you. Sean, can you spell the name of your city for me?
Tillamook.
Okay. Thanks so much. Sorry to interrupt you there, but
Well,
I
you
needed
need
to
to
make sure I
stop
had that
interrupting.
right.
That right there is the most hurtful thing that you can do to somebody who's distressed.
What is it?
The interrupting someone who's telling important details.
I know.
I'm trying to give
Sean,
you as much information as I can before you hang up.
Okay, you're doing fine. I don't want you to hang up. Sometimes I need to make sure if I need to make a report, I need to know where I'm making it, okay?
Yes,
Sean,
ma'am.
are you having suicidal thoughts with everything that's going on? Are you having
Ma'am,
suicidal
that's a
thoughts?
trick question, all right? I'm not attempting to commit suicide.
Okay,
I'm
thank
being
you.
bullied
Thank you
into
for
committing
sharing that with me.
suicide. There's a big difference, and
Okay.
obviously I'm not making an attempted suicide. However,
Okay,
nobody can take this bullying forever.
have you had thoughts of harming other people, Sean?
Ma'am, if somebody is beating on you and beating on your vehicle, are you going to think about harming them? You write down
I'm
whatever
just
you
wondering
want for
if you've
that.
had thoughts.
Ma'am, that's another trick question. Nobody who
It's
is
not a
being
trick
harmed
question,
this
Sean.
much is going
And
to
I-
think about nice things like showers and rainbows for that person. Here's what I am dreaming of is for these prisoners to be actual prisoners, for them to actually go to prison for what they're doing to me. Now, you want to consider that harm? Prison is harmful. It's very harmful. Am I imagining harmful things happening to these people? Yes, I'm imagining them in prison.
Yeah.
I'm imagining them in prison.
I can
It's a trick
understand that.
question.
No, my question to you is, I am checking if you are safe, but I also need to know if other people are safe. Have you had thoughts?
Ma'am, I'm not interested in harming anyone. I'm the only one who is unsafe
thank
here
you.
because I'm the only one being
Thank you.
victimized. Obviously,
And
if I was
Sean?
willing to hurt people, thinking about harming others is not a criminal act, and it doesn't put others in danger. Acting on those thoughts like a fucking psychopath is what puts people in danger. And you know it's a trick question. You know damn well if people are threatening to kill you and your family, you're thinking about getting a gun in case they come and try it again. So if I want to protect myself or my friends and family, then it makes me a bad person, putting the neighborhood in danger? Huh? That's how you play it. Don't ask trick questions to people who are victimized repeatedly. I've made these calls thousands of times. Knock it off with that bullshit. Let's focus on the abuse that I'm enduring.
Sean, I'm listening, and that's what I've been asking you about. But if you cannot
No,
carry
it's
on
not,
a
ma'am.
helpful conversation,
No, it's not. You're asking for direct yes or no trick questions. It is illegal and immoral for you to ask those questions. It is illegal and immoral at this point. It is a scary thing for me to have to go through.
Sean,
Because if I say anything at all, it's going to be used or twisted against me like I'm a psychopath because I'm tired of being fucking assaulted.
Sean, I'm going to interrupt you now so that I can tell you I have told you the confidentiality rules. If I think that somebody's life is in danger, that includes
My life is
yours.
in danger.
I hear you, and I am trying to help you, but shouting at me is not helpful.
Ma'am,
It's not
shouting at
helpful,
you is
Sean.
essential because you are going to continue to break my conversation and my train of thought when I'm giving important details and ask those questions in the middle of something that you need to be listening to because they're important details. Every time I start telling you about the situation with the cops, interrupting me to ask me a trick fucking question is fucked up. I've endured literally hundreds of assaults since Natalie's death. I've had to endure at least 8 assaults against myself and my property. Just from Andrew Wolnez, not including people throwing eggs at my vehicle, toilet paper rolls, screaming the N-word at me, calling me a homosexual but not using the nice words. I don't want to have to raise my voice. All right, I was a homeless liaison in Boulder, Colorado for 7 years. Okay, I understand the line of questioning. I have had to be the person to go in with a victim of serious crimes so that they're not having to deal with those trick questions. I know that if somebody else who knows what the hell is going on goes in with me or makes any of these calls with me, that line of questioning will not even come up.
Okay.
You don't care if people are harming me. What you ask in those two questions are whether or not I'm going to hurt myself or others. And I've already said I'm not interested in either one of those. I said that at the very beginning.
Sean, I'm going to interrupt you to say that this is not helpful at all. If you're unable to help and listen and respond, I'm not going to be able to carry on this conversation anymore. Okay?
Ma'am, it doesn't need to be a conversation. I'm trying to tell you what's happening.
But I am listening. I am trying to assess for your safety to find out how I can support you the best. Okay?
No, you're talking too much instead of listening. If you listened more instead of trying to focus on the parts that you want to interrupt me for, you would understand the situation better.
Sean, I am interrupting you to tell you that is what I am trying to do.
I already know what you're supposed to do. But you keep on interrupting me for a bunch of stuff that is unrelated to my abuse. It is unrelated to my abuse. It is immoral for you to keep changing the subject like that. Part of your assessment is to assess my situation, which means listening to me.
I'm interrupting you now, and I'm telling you to call 911. I'm ending this call. If there's an emergency, call 911.
Ma'am, I have. That's the problem.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Para español, marque el número 2. To talk to the Veterans Crisis Line, press 1. To connect to support. Your call is now being transferred to the Veterans Crisis Line. Your call will be recorded. Your call may be monitored for quality assurance purposes. During the silent transfer, you may hear beeps. Please stay on the line as your call is transferred to the next available VCL responder.
Thank you for calling the Veterans Crisis Line. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. If you are hearing this message, you have been identified as a non-veteran caller. Due to your non-veteran status, the VCO has determined your needs would best be met.
I'm not the one who transferred me to
your
you.
local area crisis line. Once this message concludes, follow the instructions provided, and you will be connected to your local crisis line. If you are in need of crisis intervention services in the future, you are...
Fucking Christ. All right, I don't know who the fuck you are. No, I'm not a fucking pedo. And go fuck yourself.
In crisis lifeline. Para español, marque el número 2. To talk to the Veterans Crisis Line, press 1. To connect to support for LGBTQI+ youth and young adults, press 3. Otherwise, to talk with a counselor, stay on the line or press 0. To improve 988, your call may be monitored and recorded. If you stay on the line at the end of the call, you may be invited to participate in a short survey. We are checking for a counselor who is available to talk. You'll hear music while we do this, and we'll give you an update in 30 seconds. You are not alone. We care and want to...
988 Nebraska.
Hello, my name is Sean Schwartz. I can't give you my phone number because I can't remember it at the moment. If you read it back to me, I won't be able to verify it.
I'm having a really hard time hearing you right now. I don't know if that's static or the phone.
And then he hung up on me. See, they play this fucking retarded shit.
In crisis lifeline. Para español, marque el número 2. To talk to the Veterans Crisis Line, press 1. To connect to support for LGBTQI+ youth and young adults, press 3. Otherwise, to talk with a counselor, stay on the line or press 0. To improve 988, your call may be monitored and recorded. If you stay on the line at the end of the call, you may be invited to participate in a short survey. We are checking for a counselor who is available to talk. You'll hear music while we do this, and we'll give you an update in 30 seconds. You are not alone. We care and want to support you. Someone will be with you soon.
Nebraska.
Yeah, I just called and got hung up on.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, I'm taking a lot of abuse, and everybody keeps trying to send me back to 911 who doesn't help disabled homeless men. I'm tired of taking abuse, and I'm tired of being abused by both police officers and the public. I'm tired of it. It is not okay to discriminate against a person because of their gender. But you know what? Because I have a penis, I have to deal with that everywhere I go, everyone I call. I'm not allowed to be frustrated. Or you guys, you so-called professionals who are supposed to try to be understanding of why we're frustrated. You play like we're victimizing you because we're pissed off that you have hung up on us literally hundreds of times. I'm tired of being belittled by people on 988 because they want to play spoiled little brats. My most recent aggressor is a man named Andrew Wolnez, and he has assaulted me repeatedly. He threatens and harasses and intimidates me every single day, and law enforcement will do nothing about it. If I call 911, they will pretend that I am misusing 911 because the officers here know I'm trying to tell on them. It's a small town. I am a disabled person who cannot function, literally cannot function, because I am in constant state of fear of people like Andrew Wolnez and many others who are recorded on my YouTube channel. I had to make a YouTube channel to record the abuse that I endure because cops will just pretend that it didn't happen, treat me like a crackhead, and send me to mental health. None of them will look at any of the evidence. I'm not interested in killing myself or anyone else. So you don't have to interrupt me in the middle of what I'm telling you when I'm telling you important details and why they're important. So you don't have to interrupt me and say, all right, what's the name of your town? What's your birthday? My birthday is October 18th, 1980. My name is Sean David Schwartz, SHAWN, DAVID, SCHWARTZ.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear you're not suicidal, and I'm glad you aren't having any violent thoughts against other people. Thanks for sharing that with me. So you said
Now,
this
despite that, me not having violent thoughts against other people, literally being forced to kill somebody in self-defense because nobody wants to do their job for an at-risk and disabled adult is pretty screwed up, isn't it? So let's make sure that I don't have to kill somebody in self-defense. Can we do that? Can we focus on that task at hand? Please.
Yeah, gladly focus on that with you. What can I do to help you right now the best?
Well, sir, I don't have any friends or family members. So all I can do is take abuse. I'm not allowed to defend myself. That's the problem with predators calling us mentally ill. As soon as they call us mentally ill, nobody's going to listen. Anybody can harm us, call us mentally ill, and get away with it. Now, I am disabled. I do get a disability check, and it is against the law for any of these mandated reporters that I've gone to about any of these stalkers harassing me, threatening me, beating on me, destroying my property. Police officers bully pretty much every single homeless person, and the media paints us all as horrible monsters who just make trash and destroy lives and do drugs and molest people. Or pick up guns and go shooting 30 people. Meanwhile, I have to deal with actual drug addicts and drug dealers assaulting me everywhere I go. I have to deal with people pretending that I'm a psycho everywhere I go. Because I literally have to scream at the top of my lungs for help.
I'm sorry you have to do that. That's got to be a really challenging situation. When you're normally needing help and you're kind of stuck in a spot where you have to scream it like that, who normally helps you or who comes to your aid?
Here's the thing, is that you don't need to start doing that whole thing. When you do that, I stop what I'm talking about, which is pretty important to listen. But here's the thing, I don't have anyone who comes to my aid. I'm a disabled homeless man. I've never had a caseworker do their job. I've never had a therapist do their job. I've never had a police officer do their job. Nobody does their job. They all take advantage of my disabilities. Try to profit from the process. Because of this, when I'm assaulted, I just have to go to therapy while my predators repeatedly still have access to me. Andrew Wolnez assaulted me on the first time on September 21st. He assaulted me 3 times that day. He assaulted me again on September 23rd, and again on October 7th, I believe, also October 17th. He's assaulted me at multiple churches. He's assaulted me at the Safeway. The problem is that I've gone to the police about these people harming me before. They don't care. I'm being bullied because I'm disabled, and I'm being bullied over slander. The kind of slander that gets people literally killed. And the police are trying to help that. Multiple people have come up to me and told me, hey, the cops are saying you killed some girl in Colorado. Cops are saying that you're wanted for murder in Colorado. I'm not. There's a man named Joseph Michael Lopez who killed my best friend in Colorado, and he's in prison for it for 48 years. But the police are running around telling these homeless people this. They've been telling homeless people this since I got to Tillamook. I've been harmed repeatedly by homeless people since I got to Tillamook. I can't turn it into 911 because it's a small town. It's like this everywhere that I am forced to move to. Before Andrew Wolnez, there were a lot more predators, many of them who are still doing this. And I don't know every single one of their names, but the police all do. And instead of doing something to actually stop the abuse, what they do is threaten, harass, and intimidate me. Send me to mental health. Mental health says they can't investigate any crimes against me, instead of doing their jobs as mandated reporters. And then they set me up for therapy every 30 days. When a crime is committed against me, a mandated reporter is supposed to turn it in right away. If I have to go to somewhere safe or try to get someone who will make the call with me, then that is something that it is recommended that I do. And I had someone to help me make the call. But she said that she wouldn't be able to until today, and she flaked off today. Everyone does. When you're a disabled, at-risk adult on the streets and you're a male, nobody's actually going to keep their word. Andrew Wolnez kicked in the whole side of my vehicle yesterday, and I can't even call 911. The last person to stalk me seriously, he stalked me all the way here from Hood River, and he stalked me for literally over a year. His name is James Murphy, and not one of the services I was sent to would actually do their job as mandated reporters, because they knew it would take longer than the 50 minutes that they're billing for therapy. All they want to do is rush me back out onto the streets after having me sign paperwork that allows them to tax the American dollar. They want to get paid, they just don't want to do the work. That includes CARE, who bullied me the last time I was in there as well. I've got that situation recorded. There's a man named James Roberts who was a witness to that. He went with me. The guy just couldn't shut up. He was in love with the sound of his own voice. He was just going to try to eat up as much time as possible, and he made it an unsafe situation to be there. But they do that to nearly all of the homeless people, and I've got recording after recording from other homeless people saying that too. I try to explain to them, hey, I need someone to act as a friend or family member and go in with me. And all they have is negative things to say, saying it won't work, they're never going to listen, they're never going to listen. They all tell me horror stories that are almost exactly the same as mine, except a lot of them are actually drug addicts. How even though the law says they're supposed to do their job and investigate crimes against at-risk adults, they refuse to do so. Instead of doing their job for a mentally ill person, who by definition is an at-risk adult, they use the mentally ill definition as an excuse not to do that job, to pawn us off on someone else. I've been to every agency in Tillamook trying to turn in repeated assaults by the people here of Tillamook. There's lots of people in Tillamook who are nice, and I try to tell them about my abuse. Because I'm a man, I'm going to get talked over anyway. And trying to get somebody to listen who's not a man is impossible because they're insulted by the fact that you're pointing out a truth. When a man needs help, it's ignored until it's a very complicated situation. And he has absolutely no resources to even defend himself or protect himself. I can barely stand up most days. I need a cane to walk, and I should be in a wheelchair. Robert Wolnez assaulted me at the First Christian Church. He assaulted me at the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Both of those churches I've been assaulted at prior to that as well. Also threatened, harassed, and intimidated over and over again. And with all of the calls that I've made, all telling me that I gotta go to mental health, I gotta call Adult Protective Services. It's a small town. And the guy who has to come to this town to take care of this stuff, his name is Jeff Linneman. But he's also in charge of 3 other counties, including the county that Portland, Oregon is in. I'm in Tillamook, Oregon. I had to flee abuse in Nebraska of the same exact sort. Abuse by the local community and local law enforcement turning a blind eye until they have victimized me to the point that I have a mental breakdown. Then they just want to know if I want to kill myself or others. Well, when you let people do that, yes, that person always wants to die, and they always want to kill the people who are hurting them. I just think differently because I'm autistic. I think about killing people with prison time. You rape somebody, I want you in prison. You beat on at-risk adults, I want you in prison. You refuse to do your job when an at-risk adult is being abused? Or you want to protect your friends and coworkers in that town by not doing your job as a mandated reporter? I want you in prison because at that point, you're not just refusing to do your job as a mandated reporter. You're also knowingly, willingly, and intentionally helping their predators to get away. And that does constitute a felony. There's also the fact that systemic abuse is a criminal act, and there is no statute of limitations on it anywhere in the United States. Abuse of power is not a joke. Refusing to allow the victim to speak up, refusing to allow the victim to make a statement, refusing to actually take the victim's safety seriously or the evidence seriously. These are all very serious things that are very seriously illegal.
No, I agree, and I'm glad you're able to, get those documented. My biggest concern is making sure you're going to be safe. What can, if anything, can I do to help you stay safe tonight?
Well, sir, I need an emergency location where predators don't have access to me. Meanwhile, I can't spend a bunch of money to go anywhere. I'm broke. I'm a homeless man. I live on $800 of disability a month. Logistically, people giving me a bunch of ideas that cost money isn't feasible. I had to live here for 6 months and get a P.O. box and change my address and spend a bunch of money to get my vehicle legal here as a Nebraskan, just to try to turn in assaults and crimes committed against me while my vehicle. How am I supposed to possibly get anything done? Well, I've got a vehicle that's so old, I shouldn't have had to drive it all the way here to flee abuse in Nebraska to begin with.
Yeah, and I'm sorry you had to deal with that. you said you needed an emergency location to get to. Is there a specific shelter place that you've tried out there? Because
There aren't
I
any.
just don't want to give you the number
There
to
aren't
another
any.
place you've been to before.
Please stop. Please stop. I was trying to tell you there aren't any. And I had to say that 3 times because you were still talking. I'm not trying to be rude by saying this, but there aren't any. There's supposed to be some sort of special service to help to get me put up in a room for a week in case of an emergency like this, so that I can reasonably and feasibly do what it is that is expected of a human being to turn this in nowadays. We're expected to do everything online. We're expected to provide ourselves with a safe place. But in an emergency, there's supposed to be this flex thing that's supposed to help us out. I've filled out this crap repeatedly. They make me go try to find a doctor. I can't function to do these things for myself. I'm in a constant state of fear because of nonstop abuse. I'm treated like, because I wasn't assaulted in the last 5 minutes, that I don't need to worry anymore because I haven't had him come by in the last 5 minutes. The thing is, these predators keep doing it. They have done this for 11 months here. It happens everywhere I go because of Natalie Bollinger getting her brains blown out. That was all the way back in 2017. It's one of these popular true crime things. Everywhere I go, people recognize my face from these true crime things. Nobody cares if any of what is said is true or not. So I get physically assaulted over and over. And the cops here in Tillamook are the ones running around telling people that I am wanted for murder. No, I have never been wanted for murder. Ever. I've never been charged with murder. They're the ones running around trying to tell people that I'm touching kids too. You know, I've never been charged with any sort of a crime like that. And you know why these cops are doing it? Because when I had to turn them in, and they bullied me, they also knew that I was trying to turn them in at that point, because I was forced to turn it into their department. So the first thing they do is start running around to all the junkies in town and telling them that I did shit I didn't. And nobody's going to believe a junkie. So then I get junkies like Wolnez assaulting me when I'm at Safeway trying to turn in cans. The very first officer to be predatory towards me in this town is Officer Tony Lothman.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you know we are here for you if you need support or you just need to talk and get some of this down. Because it sounds like carrying it around is a pretty challenging burden. So I'm glad, you can always reach out to us here. We're here for you 24/7.
I'm reaching out to you now. I'm telling you about abuse that's ongoing. I would rather have you do your job as a mandated reporter than have to kill Andrew Wolnez for attacking me again. He's not going to stop. Do you not understand that? He's not going to stop until you intervene. I have literally not hit him back even once. I have not gotten physical back. I am incapable. But the fact is, I can't defend myself. People are offering me guns to shoot him. And I'm turning those guns down because I'm against killing people. But he is literally going to force me to. Do you understand that? This man is not going to let up. He knows I'm trying to turn him in. He is not going to let up. And I am not going to let up on turning him in because he has done this repeatedly. Do you understand that?
Do you think it would help if you got some help through like adult protective services?
I've tried adult protective services. This is Tillamook, small town. Adult protective services, they go through Jeff Linneman, as I just explained. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's never called me back. Ever. Not once, ever. He's never made any attempt whatsoever. None. The people at Northwest Senior and Disability Services are friends with these officers who are slandering my name. The people at the Health and Human Services, same thing. They work with them all the time.
Okay, well, if you're unable to get help through those places, I'm sorry. I think reaching out to 911 may be the best option.
I can't call 911. I can't call 911. I already tried that, and they pressed charges against me for calling 911. Do you understand that? Do you understand what I just told you? Okay. I'm just making sure that we're clear on that. I've already tried 911. I currently have a court date that I have to go to in December because I called 911.
Okay.
I was bullied by the people at 911 repeatedly because, again, disabled homeless man. As soon as I start trying to explain that police officers are the reason that this is happening, people want to hang up on the phone and tell me to call 911. It's not their job. No mandated reporter wants to do their job when it's a police officer that's being turned in. If I was the spouse of that police officer, would that be okay? Then would you have to do something about it? Andrew Wolnez is a drug addict and a drug salesman, and I have proof of it. He's also harming me because of lies by law enforcement officers here.
Sean, I'm sorry you're going through that. I do wish you well, and I hope you are able to get some help. Please take care of yourself.
See, you're blowing me off. You're not doing your job as a mandated reporter, and you are leaving me at risk. Intentionally.
We're not.
That's exactly what you're doing.
For adults.
You absolutely are. I am an at-risk and disabled adult. You absolutely are.
Okay.
And now the fact that you lied to me and you got recorded live on YouTube doing it, I'd like your name so I can turn you in. Yeah, that's what I fucking expected. All these agencies can do is blow me off or send me to places that blow me off. And that's all they ever do because I have to make the calls by myself every fucking time. Or in order to get somebody else to make the call with me, I have to wait 6 weeks, wait at least 11 days out of that 6 weeks for appointments that they never show up to and don't call either. Fuck this goddamn country. Like that guy obviously is attempting to get Wolnez killed too. He's gonna let Wolnez do whatever the fuck he wants. All because he doesn't want to do anything about the police. These services are fucking horrible to us.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Para español, marque el número dos. To talk to the Veterans Crisis Line, press 1. To connect to support for LGBTQI+ youth and young adults, press 3. Otherwise, to talk with a counselor, stay on the line or press 0. To improve 988, your call may be monitored and recorded. If you stay on the line at the end of the call, you may be invited to participate in a short survey. We are checking for a counselor who is available to talk. You'll hear music while we do this, and we'll give you an update in 30 seconds. You are not alone. We care and want to support you. Someone will be with you soon. Nebraska 988, how can I help you?
My name is Sean David Schwartz. Every single time that I call you guys, you act inappropriately, and that is not acceptable. All right? 988, regretting or neglecting their duties has already resulted in multiple bodies. So it's probably a good idea to pay attention to my words instead of repeatedly interrupting me or trying to send me to services that already sent me to you. People are dead because I'm being sent around in circles from one service to another. That includes Natalie Marie Bollinger. I've tried to turn in the crimes that are committed against me everywhere that I've been. I've recorded the crimes against me. I can't process them. Now, I just tried to explain to a man who I was on the phone with, there's a man who's victimizing me here in Tillamook, Oregon, where I had to flee because of abuse just like this in Nebraska. I'm from Nebraska. I was born in Nebraska. I was sexually assaulted in the Lincoln prison. I want to let you know that that's one of the things that needs to be reported.
Okay.
However, the most current threat is the Tillamook Police Department, the Tillamook Sheriff's Department, and Andrew Wolnez.
Okay.
Yesterday, Andrew Wolnez beat in the side of my vehicle. I haven't been able to call 911 for over a month, almost 2 months. I tried.
Why is that?
Well, ma'am, there were situations where I was being abused by drug addicts out here on the streets, and I tried to turn them into the police. The police wouldn't listen to me. They wanted to send me to mental health places that didn't do their jobs as mandated reporters. They just wanted to set me up for therapy as far away from that point in time as possible, and then continually schedule me just for therapy. I'm already disabled. It's already documented that I'm disabled. And as mandated reporters, a disabled a child, a elderly person, or a disabled person in an at-risk situation, all mandated reporters have to do their job for that. Now, the guy that I just spoke with tried pretending that they don't have to do their job as mandated reporters for adults, and then hung up. Now, the reason that he did that is because I started telling him the names and the actions of police officers who had committed crimes against me.
Yeah, that's really frustrating.
It's more than just frustrating. Now, I explained to him that I'm not interested in killing myself or others, but that I'm being bullied to commit suicide. Over and over again. I have already been socially isolated from all of my friends and family. Many of them were cowards.
Are you having suicidal thoughts? Sorry, continue.
The police repeatedly tried using Suicide Watch as an excuse to discredit me, prevent me from being heard, and paint me as a crazy person. So I'm not okay with that line of question at all. I didn't call you because I'm suicidal. I didn't call you over anything of that sort.
Okay.
I am being bullied to commit suicide. It's a lot different. And there's a lot of people involved in it, and Andrew Wolnez isn't the only one. Now, because I don't have any friends or family members, all I can do to protect myself is record the situation and hope somebody in the area is a decent excuse for a human being. But most people are just going to watch, or at most tell you they're sorry, here's a sandwich. Now, I explained to the man who just hung up on me about the abuse, how it's ongoing, and about how I will literally have to kill Andrew Wolnez to stop him from doing this, since I can't call the cops. I can't go to Adult Protective Services alone. I have no friend or family member to go with me. This puts me at extreme risk and makes it basically impossible for me to do anything except repeatedly take abuse. That includes threats, harassment, and intimidation by law enforcement and by 911 for trying to turn in the abuse that I'm enduring. I'm not talking about aliens coming down and stealing my Lucky Charms here. I'm talking about actual drug addicts committing actual criminal acts against an actual at-risk adult. Now, the recordings that I have show the assaults against me, show that he assaulted me, assaulted my property. I get screamed at, yelled at, cursed at. There's also the fact that police officers are the ones running around telling people stuff because, well, when I first got here, they didn't want to do their jobs, and then I tried to turn them in because I am a disabled adult. What I didn't understand is that all of these people are friends with each other. When I went to the place that's supposed to be Adult Protective Services, they told me they're not Adult Protective Services. That's not their job. They're Northwest Senior and Disability Centers, and that they only help us get into housing. Then later on, they tell us, oh yeah, we are Adult Protective Services, but now that you're trying to turn us in because we wouldn't do our jobs, we're still not going to do our jobs. Like, do you see how that works? It is their job, and then it isn't. They bounce back and forth between whether it's their job to be a mandated reporter or not, based on who the predator is. If it's one of their friends, oh, they're not a mandated reporter. They're not going to do the job. And that's what I've had to deal with from every service here. I can't go to TFCC because they're taking advantage of all the homeless people here. They set us up for therapy when we're abused, when we're sent to them because they're supposed to be mandated reporters who are supposed to have the resources to help at-risk adults who are being abused with turning in their abusers. But instead, we're not allowed access to those resources. We are barred access and set up just for therapy over and over again. I've got the recordings of the people that sent me to TFCC. And the fact that they explained TFCC is supposed to help with that. All these places help with this housing. So I get to TFCC and they say all they do is with housing and therapy. But if I go to enough therapy, I can get case management. None of this gets predators put away. None of this gets the crime turned in right when it happened. And with me not being able to go to the police, it makes it nearly impossible. If I call 911, they already know who I am. They're just going to bully me and belittle me and blow me off, or tell me all they can do is send the local police. Meanwhile, I can't afford to leave here because I can't afford to get a P.O. box somewhere else. I'm forced to live in my car. It was abuse by mandated reporters in Nebraska that forced me out of my housing in Nebraska before Natalie Bollinger was killed. So I didn't even have my own place. I had to stay with drug dealers in Colorado and pay them for a room so that I could stay there, so that I could go to services in Colorado, which was where the people in Nebraska pawned me off. Everyone pawns me off to somewhere else. Somewhere else, the grass is greener, and I have to spend all my resources to go there. Because the local cops don't want to do their jobs, and no other mandated reporter is going to for a disabled and homeless adult either. Now, the last guy that I spoke with, I explained to him that although I'm not interested in killing anybody, there's a lot of people in this town who know what's going on, and they're too afraid to come forward to the police too. And I've got recording after recording of that. Many of them are carrying firearms for their own safety so they can kill people who are doing this kind of stuff to them. Like, I can't defend myself. I am out of my element here. I can barely walk. I'm assaulted repeatedly, and I've got drug addicts and drug dealers out here messed up on fentanyl, running around with guns. I'm stuck living parking lot to parking lot. It's illegal to do that. It's illegal to live anywhere homeless in Oregon. Same thing in Nebraska too, though. And everybody wants to shove you into a shelter. When you're an at-risk adult, when you're an autistic adult especially, that is the wrong environment to put me in. Especially when I'm in a state of crisis because of abuse. Because everyone in there knows how to identify an easy mark. Everybody in there knows. They've been out here on the streets long enough. They can tell when somebody is in such a screwed up situation, they can do whatever they want. And they will, especially the drug addicts. And because we're homeless, we're all assumed to be drug addicts. And if we're not assumed to be drug addicts, even if the police know that we're not drug addicts, they don't want to do their jobs. So if pretending that we're drug addicts or telling people that we're drug addicts somehow alleviates them having to do their jobs, that's what they'll do. And every officer here in Tillamook has done that. I told the last guy that I spoke with that I don't want to kill Wolnez, but he's literally going to keep doing this until I'm literally forced to kill him to protect myself. He's done this 8 times, and in those 8 times that he has assaulted me, tried to destroy my property or both, including the stalking me to multiple locations to do this, I have not once swung back at him. I have not once threatened to kill him. I have not once threatened to beat his ass. But what I'm saying is that I am being to the point where I'm being forced to consider the option of killing him to stop it before he kills me. If he assaults me again,
having thoughts about killing him?
ma'am, please do not try to twist this like that. That is completely fucked. What I'm telling you is that I am afraid of him enough to defend myself. Do not try to twist that into me trying to premeditatedly murder somebody. He has premeditatedly assaulted me repeatedly.
That wasn't my intention. I apologize. I'm just
Ma'am, it's the reason that question is there. It's the reason you're supposed to ask that. That question right there and the suicide question are both used to do what? I want you to guess this one. Please try. They're both used to discredit the victim and make the victim look crazy if they're honest. If people were threatening to kill you and your family, honestly, would you think about killing them?
Would you like us to bring the police on the phone with you? So
Ma'am, I can't turn this into the local police. They've committed felonies against me because they know I'm trying to turn them in. See, going to their friends at these other agencies, and these agencies being recorded telling me that they're friends with these officers. Yeah, these agencies definitely let these officers know I was trying to turn them in.
Okay, well, I hear you. I hear that it's very frustrating, and you don't feel like you're getting what you need. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to let you go tonight because you already called today.
You're literally going to force me to kill Andrew Wolnez. You are literally going to force me to kill Andrew Wolnez. That is what you are trying to do. I do not have the police as an option.
This is not my intention. I encourage you to
No, ma'am, you're blowing me off and you're refusing to do your job as a mandated reporter is what you're doing at this point.
Okay.
I'm being harmed by police, and I'm also being harmed by 988. That's because you're useless. Fucking Christ. Fucking useless shits. Hopefully Rihanna's working tonight. She might understand how volatile a situation this is and that I don't have a firearm. I also got to explain to her I can't have a firearm because of court dates I was never even allowed to know I had. think she's about the only person here who might even have the balls to do such a thing. Now, what's the important thing here? What is the most important thing here? Saving lives. Wanting to kill yourself over long-term bullying is a very human reaction. Nobody would want to live through this. So what they're doing there is trying to take the people who are getting abused the most and punish them for, well, profit. here. I have the whole store to myself, but no ice skates.
Well, if you have your club card, please stand now.
Ice skates.
$3.99.
I
If you
couldn't
have
even
your
stand
club
up on
card,
ice
please
skates.
scan it now.
Didn't even have very good coordination before I hurt my back, though. My first day in California, me and a whole bunch of the noobs all
Been accepted.
kind of one of them rite of passage things in California. All the kids I went out there with, they were able to ride the board on the first day, stand up on it and everything. I was there for 6 months. I practiced all the time. I didn't get to stand up on the board until like a week before I left California. Yeah. But I was really good at running, so it's fine. Oh, yes. 0 bags.
Your total is $3.79, and your
Okay.
savings is 20 cents. Please insert coins, then insert bills. Please wait. System processing. Please remember to take your receipt, all of your change. Thank you. Well, if you have your club card, please scan it now.
Ain't hardly anybody here tonight. Too bad I live in the US of A. My rights will not be observed until there's someone willing to act as a friend or family member to stop this goddamn abuse. Someone calling himself Cesar Cisneros is being a douche. Hey, Cesar, don't be a douche. I want to explain to you something, son. All right, I've been through too many years of abuse. I grew up in the system. This is not a funny thing. You son of a bitch has been threatening to kill me, my friends, and family for years. And everywhere I move, I have to deal with another one because of internet bullshit that nobody bothered to find out if it's true or not. You get to hear from 988 Suicide Hotline that they are in fact and indeed mandated reporters, but then they repeatedly change their mind, don't they? Oh, they have to ask their supervisor. No, you don't. You've got your mandated reporter training. You know goddamn well that if an at-risk adult tells you that a crime has been committed, that is enough to begin an investigation. That means guaranteeing the safety of the victim and the evidence. The cops didn't do this. They didn't try. Neither did any of these services that I went to. They just procrastinated and wasted time and dragged shit out as long as they fucking could and pretended they didn't know how to do their goddamn jobs. What do you do when your predators are cops and all of the services that you're sent to are their friends? How well you think this shit's gonna work out? That means somebody got to care enough to put in some actual fucking effort. These guys get to pretend I'm not disabled because they don't want to do their jobs. But I get a disability check because I am in fact disabled. How fucked is that? What other numbers we got? I suppose we can call 211 again. They don't give a shit.
To continue in English, please press 1. Para continuar en español,
Please enter the 5-digit zip code where you are currently located. If you do not know that zip code, please press the pound or hash sign.
for information on COVID-19, the flu, RSV, or Mpox, please press 0. If you would like housing information regarding services such as emergency shelter, rent assistance, or mortgage and foreclosure assistance,
please press 1. If you would like parenting information, including foster care provider support and child care services, please press 2. If you would like information about pesticides, or you would like to make a complaint about an incident involving pesticides, please press 3. If you are seeking help with paying an energy bill, like an electric bill, a natural gas bill, a water bill, or a bill for heating fuel, please press 4. If you would like to speak with a maternal and child health specialist about resources related to women's health exams, pregnancy, WIC, well child checks, contraceptives, or STI screening, please press 5. For all other services, please press the pound or hash sign. Please hold for the next available specialist. 211 Info strives to improve our services through community feedback. We would like to follow up with you in 2 weeks to see how useful the information was that we offered you today, and to see if you might need additional
I don't need
assistance at that
information.
time. Would you be willing to receive an automated call from
No.
211 Info at this number in a couple of weeks?
Hello, thank you for calling 211. My name is Will. How can I help you tonight?
You sound really bored.
I'm not bored, but I hadn't had a call in a while. How can I help you?
My name is Sean David Schwartz, and I want to let you know 2 important things. When somebody is being bullied by a lot of people and being insulted a lot, thinking about suicide, first of all, is a natural thought. It's not okay to have them locked up for it. They're trying to turn in their predators, not commit suicide. If they're trying to commit suicide, they wouldn't call you. They would just do it. So, asking them if they're thinking about killing themselves is a bad idea. That question is always used by you guys to discredit the victim. Same thing with the police. So that is not an appropriate question to ask. Second of all, when somebody is being physically harmed repeatedly, and that person is allowed to do it repeatedly, and law enforcement not only encourages it, but began the situation, it is very unsafe to make them go to local law enforcement. Very unsafe. Second of all, it is logical that any human being who is having their life threatened and their friends and family's lives threatened to want to harm another human being. So it's not okay to treat somebody like because they are thinking about harming the people who are actually harming them, that they are wanting to go hurt people and therefore should be locked up because they're threatening to kill people. Because that's not the same thing. People are actually threatening to kill me, actually assaulting me. And the latest guy, Andrew Wolnez, will not let up. He is literally going to force me to kill him, to stop him. The police and all of the other agencies that I have called have blown me off repeatedly over repeated, well, obviously harassment and assaults. Now, part of this stems from a friend of mine that was killed in Colorado. Her name is Natalie Bollinger. Now, they already found the guy that killed her, but they made it some big, huge, wonderful thing on the internet where it's a bunch of slander against me, and then it isn't until the very, very end of the episodes that they admit, yeah, Natalie was killed by a guy named Joseph Michael Lopez. So anywhere that I go, I have to deal with people that watch that stuff, that come out of the woodwork and harm me. Now, I also have to contend with the issue of police officers running around to homeless people and telling homeless people that I'm wanted for murder in Colorado. I'm absolutely not. And it's not okay for officers to intentionally try to paint me as somebody like that with the intention of getting people to harm me in the homeless community.
So how can I help you tonight? Would you like to be connected to a crisis line to maybe talk to someone about some of these issues?
I just got done with crisis lines blowing me off, which is why I called 211. Aren't you supposed to be mandated reporters?
Yes, but I'm trying to think of how I can help you. Because I'm not trained as like a counselor.
I don't need a counselor. I need a mandated reporter. I don't need a
Okay.
counselor. I need a mandated reporter.
Okay. And what would you like to report?
Well, I already started telling you what I was trying to report. Repeated and ongoing abuse, repeated assaults, threats against myself, my friends, and my family. I'm not trying to kill anybody. I'm not trying to kill myself. I'm not trying to kill others. I'm trying to stop these people from doing this repeatedly. But the problem is that when I'm trying to turn in abuse, you got trick questions. Whenever somebody is being abused like this, they're going to think about hurting the other person. How am I going to stop this person from repeatedly harming me? When people are harming somebody to the point that they want their life to end, it is not okay to punish a person for being abused to that point. When people are abused to the point that they're suicidal, but they're coming to you guys for help, or 988, who I just had 4 phone calls with, they just wanted to blow me off. They were very disrespectful. They're supposed to be mandated reporters too. But everybody's idea of helping a male is to pass us off to someone else. If it's not easy, pass us off to someone else. I never called a trained counselor to get a trained counselor. I never went to the police because I needed them to give me information on other people to talk to. I didn't go to those people for information on more people to talk to. Everyone sends me in circles to someone else.
That must be very frustrating for you.
Yeah, I hear that every phone call. I hear that from every one of you. It must be frustrating. It absolutely is. If it's that obvious, then maybe it should be taken seriously. The police won't take it seriously, and they're not going to, which puts my life at risk. I can't defend myself. I am disabled. I do get a disability check. I can't walk without a cane, and most of the time I can't even get out of my car. Mandated reporters not doing their jobs is what created this safety issue to begin with. Being forced to go to the cops to turn in people who are harming me has not resulted in the cops doing anything about people harming me. All they want to know is if I'll say something they can use to have me locked up. They don't want to do their jobs either. They just want to drop us off at the hospital, tell the hospital they think we're schizophrenic, and hope the hospital writes it down. Fortunately for people like me, it takes 6 months to diagnose schizophrenia, and a cop isn't capable. By the way, I've got my own medical history, my own medical paperwork from my own medical professionals, stating loud and clear I'm not schizophrenic. I'm not delusional. I had PTSD, and that's capitalized on by every single one of you, because the protocol you're supposed to follow for somebody who is an at-risk adult, especially when they're suffering from PTSD, isn't to lock them up and make them so that they now have a label of mentally ill that any predator can use against them, including the police. Are you able to understand that?
Yes, I
Very
just
good.
am trying to explore options for. So you don't want me to transfer you to the police, and you don't want me to transfer you to the crisis line. Is that correct?
That is incorrect. It is unsafe to make me go to the police, and the crisis line won't do shit. I need a mandated reporter. The police here aren't going to investigate any crimes against me because they're the ones making sure these crimes are perpetrated. I have the evidence of this. It is illegal to send me to the police. It is illegal to ask me to transfer me to the police. That's against the law. When they're committing felonies against me, to have me targeted by local druggies, yes, it's against the law to send me back to those cops. It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't. It's not safe.
Do you mind giving me your first and last name?
Sean Schwartz, S-H-A-W-N.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely happy to help in any way I can, but if you're not needing any resources...
All right, now you're blowing me off and you're putting my life and others' lives at risk, knowingly, willingly, and intentionally.
Well, I can make a report.
That's what I've been asking you to do since the start. You're playing stupid and changing the subject. Now you're trying to hang up on me. I'm trying to give you details so you can actually fill them out on the report. So why don't you do that?
Okay, so your name is Sean Schwartz.
Yes, sir.
And who is the person that's harming you?
There's multiple people harming me. One of them is a man named Andrew Wolnez. He has assaulted me and my property on 8 separate occasions, including yesterday when he kicked in the side of my car. I can't turn it into the police, and I can't call 911 here because I'll be arrested for calling 911. That's because I've called 911 to turn in a lot of crimes, and nobody does anything about it. The cops here bully homeless people. They don't do their jobs for them. Homeless people are treated like less than dogs, especially by law enforcement, and that's nationwide. They're taking advantage of the fact that I'm an at-risk adult with no friend or family member to protect me. So all they have to do is call me mentally ill, and I won't be allowed to protect myself. And that's where I'm at now. And then they have me jump through a bunch of expensive hoops. Jump into a bunch of different agencies who literally all say that it's not their job. All they do is send us to information to other places that are supposed to help us. You're all mandated reporters, all of you. And I've had so many mandated reporters on these things pretend that they're not mandated reporters because they don't want to do their jobs. Or they lied to me about what the mandated reporter laws are, which happened to me at least twice tonight while calling 988. I'm having to take abuse over crimes that I didn't commit in another state. People are physically assaulting me, and they're streaming slander that gets people killed. Now I want to explain something to you. I've never been charged with any form of child abuse, ever, or any form or sort of sexual crime, at all. But I get harmed everywhere I go because the news media wanted to pretend like I might be. And the cops wanted to abuse me repeatedly and gaslight the hell out of me to try to frame me for a murder I didn't commit. They kept that up for over 30 days until the guy who actually killed Natalie was busted. And then they kept committing felonies against me because they wouldn't let the charges go. They literally repeatedly pressed false charges against me to prevent me from turning them in, to pretend that I'm just some criminal. that I'm a horrible person, that I'm not trying to get help, that I'm not making literally thousands of calls to try to get help, to be blown off by every single one. Now, Andrew Wolnez walked by twice today. The first time he didn't realize it was me until he was already passed. And there was an issue where the cops were probably going to be there pretty quick. So he kept on walking. Now, the other one was this afternoon, and he wanted to walk by and call me names. Well, I get on YouTube and stream names instead. I have to remain as calm as I can every time somebody's harming me. I can't defend myself. The police know I can't defend myself. They also know that they've committed felonies against me by running around telling people things that are incorrect in the attempt to have me harmed or killed or bullied until I go somewhere else by the local community. I have no friends here. And if I have to move somewhere else, I don't have any friends there either. This makes me the most vulnerable adult in America.
How do you spell his name? You said it's Andrew Wolnez?
Wolnez. ANDREWWOLNEZ.
Okay. And are you comfortable giving me an address, Sean?
I'm homeless.
Okay. So I will make a report of this. What else can I do to help you?
Well, there's more crimes that need to be reported. It's like, of
Okay,
course.
can you tell me what they are?
Well, those officers, what they're doing is what's resulting in me being harmed. That needs to be documented and turned in too. As well as Jeff Linneman, the guy who's supposed to be in charge of APS here. I've gone all the way to the top at every single place that I've been sent to. I've been blown off by all of them and sent to somebody else at every single one. Officer Tony Lothman is one of the officers. Officer Martinez here in Tillamook is another one of the officers. Officer Timothy Sadler, Officer Trent Olson. There's several others.
So are you in Tillamook?
I am.
So you're in Tillamook, Oregon, and you're wanting to make this report. So I can definitely make that report for you.
All right. Now, the officers who are running around slandering my name have also repeatedly harassed me and threatened me for trying to turn them into their own agency. Every time that I've tried to turn them into their own agency, they've lied to me, threatened me, intimidated me, or sent literally the officers that I'm trying to turn in just to come bully me, threaten, harass, and intimidate me. And they act like 5-year-olds. They act like high school bullies. And they do this over and over again. They've done this repeatedly on camera. This goes all the way back to October of last year here. September of last year, sorry. The officers have kept this up over a year, refusing to do anything about any of the abuse that I endure. Telling me that I have to record it or they're not going to do anything. And then if I do record it, they tell me I shouldn't have recorded it. There's also an officer named Officer Mike Reeves of the Sheriff's Department. Many of the predators that I tried to turn in, police just wanted to pawn me off on mental health. That's illegal. I'm an at-risk and disabled adult trying to turn in crimes against me. It is illegal and immoral for them to pawn me off on mental health.
I understand the issues with the legality. I'm just trying to get information so I know what to make in the report. So,
Yes, sir. Well, they've sent me to a whole bunch of services that say that it's not their job. Literally all of these agencies, and I can give you the names of all of the agencies, but I would have to have a safe place to sit down with the evidence in order to go through and tell you every single person that was directly involved. But I've been sent to Tillamook Family Counseling Center, who threatened, harassed, and intimidated me, and then had me go to therapy over and over and over again, where they could make a profit off of me showing up there. But they absolutely refused reporters. There's also Dr. Danelle Boggs at TCCHC, that's Tillamook Community something or other. They actually had me go into therapy there and wanted me to go to TFCC for, what do they call that? Case management. So I went over there for case management, and they just wanted to set me up for therapy too. I've been through over a dozen therapy appointments for not one of these therapists, who are all mandated reporters, to make any attempt to do their jobs as mandated reporters. I've gone to the police repeatedly because I'm repeatedly sent back to these people to turn them into themselves. I'm also forced to go to officers the officers who are running around slandering my name, resulting in me being assaulted here, are the same exact officers that I'm sent to every time. There's also not Rick Regenborn, that's the sheriff, the former sheriff in Adams County, Colorado, or Arapahoe County, Colorado. Ray Rao, that's his name. You can look up Ray Rao. I was trying to turn him in. Him and his officers have been taking drugs and money from the evidence locker and exchanging it for goods. Most of those drugs never made it to the evidence locker. You can look it up. There's over 84 pieces of evidence, most of it drugs, that are missing from the evidence locker here. It was in the news. The police chief was arrested for it, but only for 4 of those counts. Now,
okay, so I don't want to get too bogged down into the legality issues. I just want to keep it what you need to make in my brief report.
I'm telling you stuff that needs to be put in your report. I'm telling you about the crimes committed against me by police officers. I'm still an at-risk adult if you have a badge. The agencies that I've gone to, that's important too, because I've already gone to them. If they've committed crimes against me to prevent me from turning in their friends in law enforcement, and in this town, yes, they're all friends with each other. I've got recordings that verify that. They don't want to do their jobs as mandated reporters because they're friends with some of my predators. And that's never okay. It's also illegal. That goes for the Health and Human Services Department here. It also goes for Northwest Senior and Disability Center, or Disability Services. It also goes for TFCC, TCCHC, CARE, and what is the other one? Tides of Change. All they've done is send me around in circles. Some of them start to listen until they realize that there were police officers who committed crimes against me. Then everyone plays stupid and pretends like they don't have to turn in police officers or coworkers, and the law requires that they do. That includes situations of neglect resulting in repeated harm, which obviously I've been assaulted at least 8 different occasions by this one person alone, and it's been recorded. So, I mean, it's not like there's no evidence of it. The problem is none of the agencies here will look at the evidence, and none of them help me to turn it in. Instead, they chose to try to gain access to public funds for services they are not rendering for the most at-risk adults in the country. Being a male decreases my chances of being heard. Being homeless decreases my chances of being heard. And then anybody can just call me mentally ill, and any crime they committed against me is going to be treated like it's a hallucination. Because the term mentally ill is used to insinuate schizophrenia and violence. And I'm not the one who's getting violent. People are getting violent with me. There's also a man named Jeff Linneman. He is supposed to be the guy who investigates this stuff when we're harmed. He's supposed to be the guy in charge of adult protective services in this county and 3 others, however. He has refused to return any of my calls. And that's who the police should have called to begin with. If they were going to try playing the mentally ill tag, they should have called Jeff Linneman and made sure that they do what they're supposed to do for the safety of an at-risk adult so that I'm not taken advantage of. Make sure that both parties are there, both the police and whoever is acting as social services. And if I don't have a friend or family member with me, they're just going to bully me anyway because I'm homeless. I was assaulted at the hospital here in Tillamook last year because they're supposed to be mandated reporters. Instead, I was assaulted by Dr. Stephen L. Stephanides. I was assaulted by him on January 28th of this year. Now, there was a situation last November at the hospital that was a major issue as well, where I was trying to turn in Officer Lothman, and Lothman showed up and bullied me. It's recorded. He's repeatedly showed up to bully me when I've tried to turn in crimes committed against me, and that's not okay. He's the officer who started this all the way last year when I first got here. Railroading the homeless is big business. Anyway, they've repeatedly lied to me to defraud myself and the public. And they've worked together with other agencies to do this, and that's not okay. When the agencies that I have to turn in officers to, they're going to in order to prevent me from turning them in. I'm not friends with any of the people at these agencies, and these cops are. So I hope you wrote down about the assault by Stephen L. Stephanides on January 28th of last year.
I did. Okay, so thank you for giving me that information. We've established you don't want me to transfer you to a crisis center or the police. I will make a report. I'm going to have to let you go.
It's not that I don't want to be transferred. It's that it's unsafe to transfer me. A crisis line is just going to do the same thing you're doing. And the police aren't going to listen to me without a friend or family member or you being on the phone with me and making sure it's taken seriously. Meanwhile, I cannot legally be sent back to the department that is harming me, especially with them having a history of doing this, especially a history against me of doing this. You're trying to pretend that I'm making a choice, and I'm telling you that it is not a choice. It is illegal to make me do that. It is illegal, just like it's illegal to make a rape victim turn in the rape to the officer who raped them. It's illegal. It's against the law. The agency that it needs to go to is the state troopers here in Oregon.
Okay. Thank you for providing me with that information. I'm going to disconnect at this time, but I will make a report. Thank you so much.
I hope you do. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
That's what all calls to them are like when I have to make them alone. I have to run around to all these services trying to get advocacy, but none of them advocate. None of them are interested. They can refuse to do their jobs if they don't want to. They'll come up with any excuse, including actually lying to the victim, because they don't want to do their job. Someone calling himself Titan TV Man is being a fucking idiot. This isn't a goddamn game show, asshole. I need help turning this shit in so I don't have to make these calls myself. And you're getting on here for fucking entertainment to be a goddamn dick. Fuck off. It's not a goddamn game show. I am a fucking victim of a lot of fucking hell. I'm trying to get help turning it in. I'm having to literally record this shit live on fucking Facebook and goddamn YouTube. Because I have no friend or fucking family member. Fuck this goddamn country. Fucking punk ass little bitches. You know it's a really good idea. Blocking bitches. God damn, that was easy. Somebody with the tag of ZZZZ typed, "Can you sing us a song?" and also typed, "I love you." How about fuck off? No, I'm not going to sing you a goddamn song. I'm not here for your fucking entertainment, bitch. Don't be typing "I love you" or none of that fucking crazy shit, because you fucking don't. You don't even fucking know me. You're not going to fucking make any of these goddamn calls with me. If you love somebody, you don't want them to be harmed. You want to do everything that you can to prevent them from being harmed. You're not going to do any of that shit. You're not going to do anything but get on here and fucking type at me. You're fucking trolling. Knock your shit off or you leave too. You notice none of these mandated reporters turning it in with the victim. This allows them to not do their jobs. Also, they're going to send it to agencies here in Tillamook. That gives the agencies I'm trying to turn in more knowledge that I'm still trying to turn them in, which allows them to continue to do the same bullshit. ZZZZ type here for you, pal. All right. If you're really here for me, are you going to help me turn in crimes? Like, will you literally make these calls with me? I record everything for a reason. So that after we have made the call, we can prove that the call has been made. That there has been an effort made. See, here's the problem. There's all these people who claim that they'll help. They don't even find out what's going on. They just say, oh, well, we'll do it on Tuesday. All right, what time Tuesday? Oh, you don't even show up on Tuesday. All right, we won't do anything on Tuesday. Fucking dumbasses. Well, ZZZZ, you willing to make calls with me? Still waiting for your answer. Well, let's call this wannabe fucking attorney that's supposed to be my public defender here. Ain't nothing I can do but leave a goddamn message this late at night. Not that I didn't already leave fucking messages. They already got my goddamn number. See, the whole point here is to fucking protect the goddamn victims. All these places do is harm the fucking victims. Fucking horseshit. Well, ZZZZ, are you gonna fucking help, or are you a fucking lying ass bitch? Come on, punk! What? Are you here to fucking troll? Or are you here to help? Hide user on this channel. See how fucking easy that was? No, I can't do that with these predators in real life. Matter of fact, it doesn't even work here on Facebook or YouTube. Because as soon as I fucking block them, they make another account and go at it again. It is inappropriate to force me to go to YouTube to record for my safety. Meanwhile, the cops will show up every time for a fucking shoplifter. Oh God, somebody stole a fucking $3 roll of aluminum foil. Holy shit. What do you expect? They're tweakers. What are the cops gonna do? They're gonna drop them off right back out on the fucking street. So let's call these fucking idiots again, I guess.
You reach Matthew Lyon, attorney at law. I'm unavailable right now. Please leave me your telephone number and the matter that you're calling about, and I'll return your call shortly. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hello, my name is Sean Schwartz, and I am a victim of long-term abuse. I was told that Matthew D. Lyon is supposed to be my public defender. Well, he's not going to be able to defend me if he doesn't get a hold of me and just keeps letting people harm me, like the police have been doing. I shouldn't have to call 911 just to be bullied by 911 and sent back to officers who are predatory towards me and help predators get away with hurting me. Right now, I've got to deal with a predator named Andrew Wolnez. Keeps assaulting me, keeps threatening me. Yesterday, he kicked in the entire side of my vehicle, and I can't even call 911 without fear of being arrested. I'm going to say it again. My name is Sean David Schwartz. Sean David Schwartz. You're supposed to be my public defender. I was told to wait at least 3 days before giving you a call. I did. I didn't get a call back. So I'm calling back again. I also called yesterday. I haven't gotten a call back. It's like 10:45 in the evening right now. I kind of figured you wouldn't be there to answer the phone, but I figured it was important to say, hey, I'm out here unable to function. I can't function because of abuse. I can't function. I can't do any of the things that people are asking me to do when I am in a state of crisis because I am too afraid to function. I am too afraid to function because of crimes that keep being committed against me. I need help stopping the abuse. The cops are not doing their jobs.
If you're satisfied with the message, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To send your message with normal delivery, press 1. To send your message with urgent delivery, press 2. Thank you. Your message has been sent.
Now, how do we stop these people from killing people? How do we prevent people from doing these things? How do I stop Andrew Wolnez from assaulting me when I literally can't even go to the cops? Looks like Sadler. Sadler, it's not appropriate to talk to me without me having a friend or family member here for my safety. I need help, but I'm not going to get help from you. You guys have already made that clear. It's not safe for me to have to talk to him without a friend or family member present. We've already been through this. We've already recorded it. They don't want to do their fucking jobs. That's why you have to get involved. You have to actually care. Sadler is one of my predators in this town. He's one of the ones that I was just telling that lady about. Do people use their fucking brains? No, they don't. Use your fucking brain. Do I need help? Yes. But it is unsafe for me to talk to the pigs here alone. It has to go to State Patrol. And again, if I have to go to State Patrol alone, they're likely to do the same goddamn thing. The cops here have already claimed that they don't have an interview room. According to the laws here in Oregon, they have to have 3 of them. 3. That's right. 3 of them. And they're supposed to be soundproofed up to 85 decibels. That's interesting to know. Now, how do we stop this abuse? I have to be afraid of the sheriff's department. I have to be afraid of the police department. But none of you take it seriously, so it's okay. You cannot make me talk to the police alone, especially after they've committed felonies against me. It's against the law to send them here. Not sure if you noticed, but I don't have anyone here to do that with me. Fucking stupid asses. You cannot make an at-risk and disabled adult have to speak to their fucking predators alone. This is fucked up. People keep talking about this wonderful and great United States. No, it's not. This is a shitty country. The people are shitty people. Every person who was nice, I tried to give a chance. And every nice person showed that they're not good people. There are no good people in Tillamook other than me. You're all shitty fucking people. Well, Israel's bombing the shit out of the Gaza Strip. It's too bad I don't live in the Gaza Strip. Seems Ukrainians blow up just about every Russian tank that comes near them. It's too bad I'm not in a Russian tank. Fuck, it'd be nice if that guy'd grow a bigger penis, I guess. Sending me to my predators is not help. There are no good people in the United States. There are plenty of people who are witnesses to these crimes. And plenty of them could have spoken up. But not a goddamn one of them did. Here's the thing, if somebody's being harmed repeatedly, eventually they're going to kill themselves. Every single person who works at this fucking Safeway would rather I kill myself than actually help to fucking turn this shit in. Every fucking one of them. Not a goddamn one of them has done a goddamn thing to address the safety risk because none of them have to go through it. Out of all of their great and wonderful ideas, when have even one of these pieces of shit thought to themselves, hey, I could help turn it in so he's not victimized? If I have to wait for you to get off of work, if you're a good fucking person, you'll take the fucking time. Fucking stupid pieces of shit. Fuck all of you. I've already had to deal with Sadler. Without a friend or family member, he's not going to do jack shit except blow me off and send me to mental health. I've already been through it. How about don't send my predators to come harass me? That's exactly what it is without a friend or family member. Fucking idiots. You're all shitty fucking people. I can't turn it in alone. I can't turn it in alone. I've already tried. I get talked over, blown off, and nothing but goddamn excuses why it's not their job. Timothy Sadler is no different. The hell did I just hit?
Afterlife and what happens when you die.
Oh,
is a
Dante's
question
Inferno
every
and the
human that's
9
ever
layers of
existed
hell.
has asked themselves.
Okay.
Maybe you're a Christian and think you're going to heaven or hell after you die.
I don't give a shit. I don't believe in either goddamn one. As a scientist, I believe in the possibility, but it is a very, 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 very remote possibility. And there's 100% possibility that every single human being is wrong. Between Christians doing something about abuse or trying to pawn it off on their imaginary friends, it's that pawning it off on their imaginary friend that shows that they're fakes. It shows that, number one, they don't believe in God, and number two, they don't care about you. Nobody who's going to pawn abuse off on God cares about you. Not one. Not one person who's going to defer doing the right thing in lieu of pawning you off on the Almighty actually gives a crap about the Bible or the Almighty. There's no good people here. Now, here's the thing. I went to all of these cops alone repeatedly. And every time it's the same shit. I cannot talk to them alone. I have to have a friend or family member present, or they will violate my rights. They will talk over me, and they will refuse to do their jobs. If you send any law enforcement agency in Tillamook to come talk to me, what you are literally saying is that you want me harmed. You are stating that loud and clear. You don't care if I'm blown off. You don't care if I'm insulted. You don't care if I'm injured. You don't give two shits if I'm fucking shot. That's what you're stating loud and clear. So when you say you care about me, no, you don't. With Sadler being a fucking dickhead and all the other officers being a dickhead, for my safety, I can't give them another chance. I have to have a friend or family member present to prevent them from doing the things that they've done repeatedly. That's the point. That's why at-risk and disabled adults are asked if they have a friend or family member. These agencies are supposed to help the most at-risk adults in this fucking country, and they deny us help if we don't have help. How about instead of pointing it off on the fucking cops, you actually try caring about the victim? Instead of making them talk to them alone. If you're gonna be a piece of shit and fucking call the cops, knowing they victimize us, the least you can fucking do is have the balls to call them with the goddamn victim. And stay there with the victim for their fucking safety. Is that Jennifer? No. Fucking horse shit.
1-1. To continue in English, please press 1. Para continuar en español, marque.
Please enter the 5-digit zip code where you are currently located. If you do not know that zip code, please press the pound or hash sign.
For information on COVID-19, the flu, RS.
Please hold for the next available specialist. 211 Info strives to improve our services through community feedback. We would like to ask you a short 5-question survey after you have finished speaking with our staff.
Thank you for calling 211. My name is James. How can I help you?
Hello, James. I called 211 earlier. I told them about a safety issue, and they sent the officers that the safety issue is with to come harass me. That's not okay. It is never okay to make an at-risk adult talk to police officers who harm them. It's a felony to do that. My name is Sean Schwartz, and whoever it is that I was talking to last that decided that was an okay thing to do really screwed up.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't need you to be sorry. I need you to document it.
What would you like to document?
Holy shit, you didn't hear a word I just said, did you?
Well,
you're real sorry about it, but you didn't hear it. That makes no sense. Try it again. Maybe we'll get somebody different who's not a retard.
1-1. To continue in English, please press 1. Para continuar en español.
Please enter the 5-digit zip code where you are currently located.
For information on COVID-19, the flu.
Please hold for the next available specialist. 211 Info strives to improve our services through community feedback. We would like to ask you a short 5-question survey after you have finished speaking with our staff. Would you be willing to receive?
Yeah, I already know what to press before they give me the options.
assist you?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hardly hear any of that.
Hello, my name is Jasmine with 211 Info. How may I assist you?
Well, the last guy that I talked to, I hung up on because he was an idiot. I told him about abuse that I was going through. He said he's sorry to hear that. I said, I don't need you to be sorry. I need you to document it. He said, what do you need me to document? I'm not playing head games here. I hung up on him.
Okay.
I called him to report abuse by 211. Like, I told them who my predators were by name, that it was not okay and unsafe for me to have to speak to any of the officers in this town alone. And I spoke specifically of the names of the primary predators in this town in law enforcement. And of course, one of them was Sadler, and he come up to harass me. That's not okay. With the number of times that Sadler has been involved in threatening, harassing, or intimidating me, or blowing me off and sending me to mental health for something that cops are supposed to do, I cannot give him the opportunity to do that again. Meanwhile, there's a predator named Andrew Wolnez that I am unable to turn in because of this. I can't call 911 without being arrested because I tried to turn in predators. Everybody in this town knows everybody.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I do want to let you know that we are just a resource center.
You're not just a resource center, you are mandated reporters. Do not lie to me. You are mandated reporters.
Correct. So part of our job is we are a mandate reporter. And the steps that I would take is I would transfer you over to the abuse hotline, and so we can get that started. Is that okay?
The abuse hotline is not a hotline. Would you call them with me so that you know what it is next time, so that you know not to blow people off on the abuse hotline?
Okay, so did you experience sexual assault or mental abuse, or what kind of abuse?
I've endured mental, physical, and sexual abuse.
Okay, then. So at this moment, can I have your age?
That can be used to discriminate against me. My name is Sean Schwartz.
Okay, so at this moment, you're declining to provide me your age, correct?
Ma'am, it can be used to discriminate against me. My age is not important. I am over 18 years of age, so I am an adult. That's good enough.
Okay, I just need to make sure that you're confirming with me that you are declining that answer, okay?
Ma'am, I'm not declining that answer. I'm telling you that it allows you to discriminate against me based on that information. I don't know what bias you hold. The reason that we're supposed to have that information protected is so that we're not discriminated against because of our age.
Okay.
You cannot expect a disabled person who lives on a fixed income to do the things that quote unquote normal people can do. I'm disabled. I can't turn that off.
Okay. Right now I'm just looking to see if I can get the number here so we can make that report, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you don't mind, can you provide me the city that you're currently in?
Tillamook, Oregon.
Again, I appreciate your patience. I'm just trying to see if I can get this number here as soon as possible. Hello, are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. All right, then. So I'm gonna try to get them on the line, and then you can make that report with them. Okay?
Ma'am, that's not acceptable. You can't pawn me off on somebody else. I need you to be online so you don't do this to someone else. You need to listen to what it's really like to make this report.
I'm gonna try to get them on the line, and then I'm gonna connect the call. That's what I said. Okay? So just give me a second here, and let me get them on.
Great. My fucking phone died. Perfect time for it to fucking die. Be nice if... fucking... See, that's the thing, is that without a friend or family member who cares, this is what I have to deal with. Non-stop hell! Call after call! See, that's the problem with having my time fucking wasted. Well, you think I can just keep all this shit fucking charged all the goddamn time? You expect me to not be fucking overwhelmed with all of this fucking shit? I'm tired of being assaulted. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all these people saying, is there anything I can do? Well, you can make the call with me and be there with me and take it seriously. Because if you don't take it seriously, the cops are going to give me the same treatment they always do. And God forbid you ask a woman. If she goes to the cops, they will help. Everyone in America is sexist. We're taught to be. But the law says that's not okay. None of these people care about the law. No woman in America cares about the law. because bias benefits all of them. Law says it's equally wrong to do this to anybody, don't it? But it makes it so that women don't have to have evidence. Bias means all she has to do is go, oh, boo-hoo, poor me, I'm a victim. And an innocent man's life is fucking destroyed. None of you are good fucking people. None of you. Instead of doing something about the abuse, you try to bully me into moving. That's not help! That doesn't fucking help! Any charge on it whatsoever? 0%. You're all fucking disgusting people.